All right, we will go ahead and start it off with a question from Patrick Engel.
Brian, in the first quarters of the last three games, it seems like you guys have really been able to create a long drive and score and really put yourself in a position to avoid any kind of early hole. How big of an emphasis has that been, is just wanting to establish that and just avoid any potential for early holes, basically?
Well, I'd rather that we score quicker, quite frankly. We put ourselves in a difficult situation with a penalty that, put us behind the chains. And, we had to overcome, a couple of mistakes during that drive. But, the nature of what we were going up against with, two high safeties and, deep coverage, we couldn't push the ball down the field as quickly as we would like, but we were extremely methodical and, excellent on third down. And, obviously a very, very good drive. I mean, I don't want to take anything around. I think it was a 15 play drive. So yeah, anytime you open up the game with a score and overcome some third down situations, but we don't script it for 15 plays. I mean, we had to overcome some mistakes along the way, so we need to clean that up.
We'll go next to a question from Eric Hansen.
Brian, I know you like to talk about playing to the standard. How do you feel like your defense did that today? And do you think this has the potential to be your best defense?
Yeah, I mean, we made some critical errors in the second half that we really don't make. Too many 15-yard penalties. Look, we had one pressure where we were supposed to peel, we didn't. Just some attention to detail things that we need to clean up. Some missed tackles. We didn't play a lot of snaps in the first half. We had a good stop in the first drive after a big play, and we come back, offensively and score and, make it 24-7. I thought that was a good, a good transition there. But, it's a really good defense. There's no doubt. I mean, that's a good offense. They've got some skilled players. They've put up a lot of points this year against a number of different opponents. I think if you ask Clark and I and how we played, there's some things that we've got to clean up going into next week against a better opponent, and that's how we feel about our defense.
We'll go next to Pete Sampson.
Brian, I think after all these games we talked to you about, upping the standard or maybe making a throw or picking up a blitz or not fumbling, but I guess it's some of the things you didn't do well. But when you have somebody like Kyle Hamilton at the back, does that erase some of that? Is that sort of one of the big points of optimism moving next week, that you have a player who can really erase a lot of things on his own?
Well, I mean, there's more than that, Pete. I mean, Kyle Hamilton is no doubt for us, for me, you don't get many players of that caliber. And, he snuffs out the 2-point play. He's all over the field. But elevating the play of Dalen Hayes might be singularly as important as anything that happened today. He was at a different level of play. If he can continue to play at that level with a Kyle Hamilton, and the other pieces to this defense, then we're going to get to where we want to be, And so we just need to, I guess the long story of this answer to your question is, we need to continue to surround other playmakers with a known playmaker in Kyle Hamilton. That's when this defense starts to really become special.
We'll go next to Pete Byrne.
Hi, Coach. I know after the game, ESPN or ABC filled you in on the information on Trevor Lawrence not being able to play next week. I'm curious if after this game just now you addressed Clemson at all with your team, and if so, what was your message to them?
Well, I addressed them. I addressed Clemson 2 weeks ago, so I would think you would think that I addressed them after the game. So yeah, we talked about Clemson. We've been waiting to play Clemson, but we wanted to play Clemson when we upped our performance level. And I wouldn't say it was our best performance today, but we did some good things, and we've been preparing for this opportunity to play the best team in the country in Clemson at home. So our guys are excited about it. They're ready to go back to work. It's a short week. We go right back tomorrow because of Tuesday being an off day. The guys are right back at it tomorrow, so they're excited. They're going to be a little bit tired, but Clemson will be too. They got to go right back, get on a plane. I assume that. Well, I don't know if they were home or away, but we're going to get on the plane and they'll get some rest and get right back at it. But yeah, they're excited about this opportunity to play the gold standard in Clemson, and so they're excited about it.
We'll go next to Tim O'Malley.
Coach, I just wanted to follow up about your comments on Dalen Hayes. I mean, you've seen him play 50 games for you now, 3 times as many practices. Is it something you saw coming? Is it just that he has been continuing to work and it paid off today? Where did this production come from? He's always played well, but this just seems to stick out more than others.
Yeah, Tim, it's been coming in that his focus, he's been single-minded in his focus for the last month or so in terms of really his craft. And I've just seen a different player when it comes to wanting to be a dominant player in football. Dalen's always been a good player, but he's been good at a lot of things, both on and off the field. He has made a choice, a conscious decision that he wants to be a great player. And it has just been fun to watch this kind of coming together on the practice field. And now it's starting to show itself on the game field. And it's his dedication to how he's been practicing, and we're seeing it come to fruition.
We'll go next to John Finneran.
Brian, I wonder if you would critique the performance of Ian today, and also talk a little bit about the play of Javon McKinley and Joe Wilkins today.
Yeah, Ian was pretty darn good. 18 for 26, 200 yards. The ball came out quick, and what I don't know if you saw it, but there were a couple of times where he was late on some reads. He was not late this today. His timing was really good. He shortened up his drop a little bit. He was tighter on his drop. Really liked his efficiency today. It's like anything else. We'd like to see a couple more here and there, but it was a really good day for him. One that we can continue to build off of. Javon McKinley was also quite good. We had Ben last week make some big plays for us. This week, Javon made some big plays for us, and that's the nature of what we'll probably see most of the year. We've got 2 big receivers on the outside that are also very capable of catch and run, and both of them have now contributed in consecutive weeks with the runs after catch. And I've been saying for quite some time that I've felt like they were both capable of being productive players, and they have been, and they've shown that. And I think you add Avery to the mix, and Avery's been really steady for us as well.
We'll go next to George Bashura.
Hey, Coach. Quick question about Kyron Williams. You guys were driving there at the end of the first quarter. Kyron gets the ball and he fumbles the ball to 10. What was the coaching moment? Because I know you like to do that. What's the coaching moment to him when he comes off the field after the fumble?
Yeah, I mean, your first thing you're just re-emphasizing the things that he needs to do in that situation. He's trying to get extra yardage. This is a defense that's trying to rip at the ball, but also that we trust you, and similar to, I think it might have been the Florida State game where he fumbled. We put him right back in the game, and you saw what he did. He was outstanding, and we put him back in the game, and we trust him. It's hard sometimes to overcome a 97 or 93-yard return for a touchdown, but we were able to. But those things, you can't do that too many times and hope to come out on the winning end of things. So you're just trying to be positive with them. Mistakes are made. We're not perfect. But next time in there, you got to do a great job holding on to the football.
We'll go next to Angelo Di Carlo.
Coach, I'm curious what your initial reaction was when you first heard that Trevor Lawrence had tested positive, either Thursday night or Friday morning, and I knew you just found out that he was out for next week's game. Now that you've had a few minutes to think about it, your reaction to that as well.
Yeah, when I heard he got the virus, the first thing you think of is, hope he's okay. Hope he doesn't have, any lingering effects that affects him. He's the best player in college football. Then after that, you're like, well, the virus is indiscriminate. It doesn't care. The virus is going to do what the virus does. And then, you start to think, all right, is he going to play? I'm sure he's going to play. And then I heard today that he's not going to play, which is, probably the safest thing. It's too bad he's not playing. You want the best players to play, but look, the kid that played today is, a 5-star recruit as well. And I know he's not Trevor Lawrence, but they're not going to come to South Bend shorthanded. It's a shame that Trevor's not playing. We wish him, good health and a speedy recovery. But they'll be well fortified with an outstanding quarterback who played today against BC.
We'll wrap it up today with Tyler James.
Hi, Brian. I'm curious what you thought of how the offensive line pass protection has gone the last two games. Certainly a big challenge against Pittsburgh with their big defensive front. And then today it seemed like Georgia Tech was able to impact some of the passing game with the pressure they were put on Ian.
Yeah, you know what, Tyler, I'd have to go back and look at it. I mean, there were times that, Ian had to escape, but 18 for 26, he had time on a number of third down. When you're 10 for 15 on third down, you're not looking to chase anybody down saying the quarterback didn't have any time to convert third downs. Can we be better? Absolutely. But like on my list of things, it's probably not going to be the first thing that I'm chasing down is our protection issues against Georgia Tech. There's other things that we've got to get better at across the board. Yeah, I mean, they got some penetration and missed a couple of opportunities down there, but by and large, it really didn't jump out at me as, when I take notes on the sideline that what the heck's going on with our protection today.